So I just realized that I haven't given you the gist of how I became a co-producer of a Grammy Award YouTube series. Don't worry, don't be confused. I'm speaking it. I'm speaking things that be not as though they are. Because of, at that point in my life, I know I was really upset that period that I wasn't able to do a vlog, because it was quite interesting. Because that time I didn't have a phone, and I was going through a lot and a lot was going through me. I didn't realize that way too. Now the series is out and everything doesn't stop me from telling you the story, like backtracking it, telling how it was from inception to post-production and then the premiere. I just really wanted to do a small intro video for the vlog, because I vlogged the private screening events that we had like a movie premiere and all of that. So I vlogged it, and I wanted to do like a small intro telling you how it all started, because I felt like that was what was proper before the premiere itself. But I think this might be a video on its own, because it might just be long, and but I'll still give you all the details. Yep. Okay, let's get it. Okay, so apparently I shot that video on a totally different day, and now I'm here to shoot the actual video. I just didn't want to procrastinate. I wanted motivation. Anyways, so it all started in 2021. I was in Port Harcourt for a while for some reason, and my younger brother Tikuro, who is a content creator, influencer. He makes skits on social media. Some of you may know him. So he comes to me and he's like, oh, he wants to do a video. He tells my older brother as well. He wants to do a movie rather. So, and I mean, it's not the first time. All of us in our house, we've kind of known that we are going to end up in like the movie industry one way or the other. Remember when we were growing up, my elder brother, he was the one that actually wanted to be a director, and we used to shoot some kind of like short films with our phones and all, like several years ago when there was no social media to post it and everything. But we used to do these videos where he'll make us disappear, and it was quite fascinating, because like take a shot, we'll not move from the frame. Anyways, back to the main story. But he comes and we're like, okay, no problem. He's like, he wants to do a short film. I'm like, okay, cool. When are you looking at it? He's like, very soon. That he's already working on a script with someone. I'm like, okay. And then he sends me the script. He sends me the script, and he sends me the first part of the script at first, and I struggled to even go through it the first time. I kept looking at it like, what's going on here? I mean, it's our first time, doing something, and then you want us to do something as complicated as this, and it was quite fascinating, to be honest. And I'm like, okay, no wahala. And then he kept on saying, my own is like, I am an economist, okay, so I am very financially inclined. I am like, where is the money going to come out from? Because this looks like it's going to cost millions, to do. Like, where are we going to get that kind of money? It's like, okay, he's going to apply for sponsorship. So me, I won't tell that we are going to like take time applying for like different sponsorship, trying to get funds and everything. But he was like, oh, that this brand that he had worked with one time, he's thinking of reaching out to them, and he feels like they're going to be willing to part of it. So that happened, and it really happened so fast, to be honest. I feel like it's grace of God, because he told me that he had prayed about it and he was there to do that, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Now he actually later sends me the full script. Truth is that up until today, I never even really went through the full script until the movie came out. I just got stuck somewhere, and that was there was a scene, an accident scene. I got stuck there. I'm like, how are we going to do this? How are we going to do that? Like, it just, like, I had so many questions. But there was one major concern, though, was that at the period when he was telling me all of this, I wasn't sure if I was going to be available, rather, for the shoot period, the production period and everything. I wasn't sure, because I needed to go back to Lagos. And when he had fixed the dates, it was supposed to clash with something that was supposed to come to Lagos. When he finally told me, oh, okay, that was like in September. He had told me, oh, we'll start shooting in October, later in October, and we'll pan into November, kind of. So I had come to Lagos for something. I had like a job interview that I was applying for, so I was hoping, oh, that one pulls off that period. I don't want to go to that period. I really, really needed that job at the time, and I sure came to Lagos, the interview. There was something else I had applied for, and I thought that this was the same. This was something that was going to keep me because it was like a program, and it was supposed to start in October. So I applied for this program. Unfortunately, I didn't get the job interview. I didn't get the program, and I was so sad about it. Like, I was really, really upset and all. But right now, I thank God that nothing took me away from Port Harcourt at the time. Do you get? But as at that period, there was no explanation, no understanding for why I did not get these things that I was obviously qualified for. But God always has a greater plan. Anyway, I came back to Port Harcourt, and I decided that, you know what, I'm going to pour all my energy and all my time into planning and into the production of this movie. And we had to do things properly, so we started KOJ Visuals, which is a production company. I'm the chief financial officer of KOJ Visuals. My other brother IB is the chief operating officer, and then Kura is the CEO. So we tried to do documents, get our company registered, and we were ready for the shoot already. By God's grace, the brand that he had spoken about, they agreed to sponsor the movie, and before you know, they had approved for the funds. So we were waiting for funds to drop, and then we start shooting, and then funds dropped, and it was beginning to look real. Kura single-handedly brought together a team, because me, I was already worried, like, who's going to do this, who's going to do that, who's there? It's literally our first time. He has never been on a professional set before. I have not. My other brother has not. None of us, like, zero, and I mean zero experience. Everything that we know, we learned online through research, through observation, and all of that. So, he does the casting himself, looks for a team of people. In fact, they like few days before kept on telling me, oh, I don't have a script supervisor yet, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. But somehow we try to get the best talents, like young talents, most especially. Every single person that worked on that project, they're like in their 20s or something. Do you get? So he got like the best talents out there. Checked on Instagram for people, because the shoot we were doing was the movie I keep calling it a show. Well, the production was, quite different. I won't even say complicated. It was just different. We needed a body artist. We needed an SFX artist. That's like, all this SFX makeup, like special effects makeup, say, hand cuts, all those things are makeup, yeah. And then a VFX artist. That's the virtual effects artist, the one that does all the drama you see in the movie. Truth, I had no idea how we were going to pull it off. All I know is that this boy seems like he knows what he's doing, and I know for sure that whenever you put your heart to something, whenever you're determined to do something, you're going to get it done. We get the DOP, we get the we just put together a team, and luckily for us, we were able to get a shotlet in Port Harcourt. Okay, we got a shotlet in Port Harcourt, and this shotlet is like it's a compound that has like different flats of shotlets, and by God's grace, we're able to rent out all the shotlets in the compound, and sorry, I'm having some sort of allergic reaction on my nose. We're able to rent out all the shotlets in the compound, and we stayed there for the 11 days or so, almost 2 weeks that we had this production, and it was quite interesting. On the first day before the first day of the shoot, I can't even really remember everything right now, but there was a lot of running around. I mean, I was running errands, trying to do this, trying to do that. Went shopping for the crew, and then on the first day of the shoot, we had fixed 7 a.m. Okay, so we go there, we get there 7 a.m. trying to do this, trying to do that. Of course, people are not there on time. Equipment were not there on time. We were bringing equipment from somewhere else. The first day of the shoot was a hospital scene that we had to shoot. And the funny part was that Kuro was very sick that day. He was very, very sick because he had been working so much before the production. So I just thank God that the first day of the shoot was supposed to be a hospital scene. And in the movie, he was supposed to be sick. So what you see there, he was actually sick on that day, So that hospital scene, we just had to get it over with. It was quite stressful. Things were very disorganized. 7 a.m. shoot did not start till like 2-3 p.m. We had not still started, and I was very worried. We were meant to do 2 locations that day. The second location was supposed to be, an accident. The accident scene that I was worried about. And that accident scene ended up being my favorite part of the movie, because I feel like we put in so much. We invested so much for a very, very short clip in the series. I'm like, it cost us so much. What happened was that we needed an accidented vehicle. Okay, a bashed car for that scene. And we just couldn't drove all over Port Harcourt looking for a bashed car. Either they have like an issue with the police or one thing or the other, but we couldn't get a bashed car to use. There was no one self that they wanted to give us. We were like, oh, let's just borrow it, for like overnight or something like that. They're telling us, oh, bring 70,000, bring in this. Calling them out. I'm like, okay, maybe we could buy car bash now. You get that kind of thing. So we're able to get this in search. We got to one mechanic place where we saw this vehicle. We saw somebody there with his vehicle. Apparently, I think he's like a taxi rider or something. The car wasn't even bashed, okay, but he was like, he can make the car look bashed for us. So like he can remove the bonnet. There was like a bashed windscreen there, so we could carry it, put on it. We had to improvise, and we finally did, and we got that scene over with. We shot that scene way into the night, so we had to like hire policemen, because it's Port Harcourt. We had to like hire policemen to stay with us overnight for the shoot. That was the shoot. That one we shot now did it on the day 2 of the shoot, and then we had some scenes in Uniport Choba. So from Audley Road to Choba, and I was driving up and down. I was driving up and down during that period, and to be honest, I cannot remember all of the details of the shoots from day 1, day 2, day 3 to all of the days that we spent shooting. But one thing I know for sure is that it was hell of stressful. We were having some shoots. Another shoot that stood up was the sandfield shoot. We had to shoot in a sandfield where Lady Nania and her girls were. So it's like this very big, wide sandfield. And then we got there that day around like 6 p.m.-ish or so, 7 p.m. And we were shooting. We didn't leave that place till about 6 a.m. Like, for real, we shot we shot overnight. 2 a.m, 3 a.m. At some point, stuff happened. Generator went off. We didn't have light again. It was just really stressful. In fact, I think maybe the easiest shoots would have been the ones we shot in Uniport's campus, but that wasn't easy as well, because most of the shoots we had at Uniport, we needed extras, and shooting with extras is not easy at all. Having like 20-30 extras is not easy to like coordinate them and all of those things. And for Christ's sake, we've not done this thing before. I keep on saying that. So, we made several, silly mistakes. Like there were the one for the throne room. Now, the throne room shoots were shot differently. We had to get a warehouse. All of these things we are not like properly arranged for, because we just had to go. They were not properly arranged for before we started shooting. So getting the warehouse, we're like, tomorrow is the shoot and we don't have a warehouse yet. Can you imagine? That's how it was. So we had to we wanted to use like an event, because we needed somewhere with space, and that was like quite high, because we needed to set blue screen all over because of the kind of shoots we're going to do. We got the warehouse, we did the shots. There was a scene, the coronation scene. I'm going to try not to drop spoilers, because of right now, as at the time I'm doing this video, the series is not done airing, but they've shown the coronation scene. That's where we have like the dancers and everything. Those people, they had to do like several rehearsals, and that day, unfortunately, we shot all through the night again, and then for some reason we weren't able to get the right shots and everything. We had to pay a second day for this warehouse, and it cost a ton of money, to use that warehouse for production. See, I just really thank God, how we navigated all of these things and all of these struggles and all of these battles because it was actually not easy. I really, really wish I could be vlogging it at that point in time. In fact, I was too stressed to vlog. Truth is that I wouldn't have been able to, but we ended up becoming quite close. There are a few people that came in from Lagos, to join us for the shoots, and I was just so happy that I met everybody that I met on the shoot, because everybody gave it 100, and it was fun. It was stressful, but it was fun, because we're young people. We're really, really into this thing. Most of the shoots were done overnight, and then the other location we had was in the shotlet. So luckily for us, we could shoot in the shotlet, transform it, and all of that. It was quite fun, because of we even all lodged together and all of that. It was interesting. It was quite interesting. And I do not regret it right now. I am super grateful for how that period of production went, So we shall finished production. On the last day of production, when we went out, we had fun, we danced, and I was so happy. To be honest, that period was very, very therapeutic for me. It was really good for me, because I met people, I laughed, I had fun, and I hadn't done any of that in a while. So that was really good. And right now, I do not regret any of it. I thank God that the things that was supposed to take me out of Port Harcourt did not take me out at the time. That's all for the production period. Then now I'm going to take you to post-production. So we started post-production maybe 2-3 weeks after the shoots here in December, and then we started making little progress, but it was really slow. At first we were thinking, okay, we would be able to launch the series in February. Yeah, I think February, and then do a premiere in January or something like that. But January came, we had not even made progress, sufficient progress. Everything was just really dragging. And then February, we were supposed to do the launch in March, and then there were supposed to be funds disbursed for us to have the premiere, but we weren't getting feedback from our sponsors on time, And then it just kept on dragging, because we planned that, the premiere will be on March 4th, which is Kura's birthday, yeah. So it just kept on dragging. There were so many things going wrong. We found out that we lost audio files. We completely didn't even have audio for a couple of scenes, okay? So we had to do ADR for that. And then March came, April, May, June, nothing yet. So I think it's in July that things picked up again. Sponsors finally, responded, funds were now being disbursed. So now we started planning the premiere. Now we have funds, okay, so there's nothing holding us back. Then guess what happens? In fact, this is something dramatic that happens. My younger brother calls me one day, and he's crying on the phone. I'm like, what's happening? They just nearly had a panic attack. He's like, GFlex, our editor, just called him to say that his laptop was stolen. And mind you, he was the one in charge of the laptop and all of the hard drives that we had used for the shoots. So if he was robbed and it was stolen, it means that we don't have any film. It means that everything that we have worked for all of these months disappeared, is gone. See, I legit sat down on the floor, and I'm like, what? And then immediately I'm like, no way. I'm like, this has to be a test. This has to be the devil. And my younger brother is crying like his life is over, because we had spent millions on this production, and we have nothing to show for it, because I told him that, see, as long as God is on the throne, I had no idea. I'm like, we're going to track down wherever the robbers are, and we are going to see, if it means ransacking the whole Port Harcourt, they are going to bring out that thing. I was ready to go on dry fast. I was ready to not eat anything for 27 days to make sure that those things came out, because it was really heartbreaking. But fortunately for us, yes, GFlex's laptop was stolen, but our hard drives were intact by God's grace. But that's something that slowed down the production. We had to spend money, getting new softwares, just spent a lot of money anyways. And truth is, I just thank God that, and mind you, we haven't had to do a second ADR. So that ADR that we did for the first one, so for people that are not familiar with these things, what ADR is when I said that the sound was bad, you know, when you say I say something and then there was no audio for it, so I have to record only audio separately, and then I'll be watching the video to now merge both of them together, that kind of thing. But we had to make sure it was done smoothly so that it's not going to be noticed. You know, sometimes you see somebody's mouth moving and what they're saying is not aligned with their expressions. Okay, so that passed, and the rest is history. To be honest, we had to do a second ADR. That's what I wanted to say. We had to do a second ADR because of the first ADR we did. Funny, when we plugged in the hard drive, we couldn't find the files. Like, the files actually disappeared. You know, so that's just one of the challenges that we had to face during this production time. By God's grace, we planned everything. We wrapped up the production few days to, you know, the premiere. We were able to do the cinema copy because the YouTube copy was not even ready up until now. I'm still the one that edits and, you know, cuts the YouTube copies because they are not 100% ready, you know, but before we post every week, I make sure that they are ready and all of that. It's even exhausting thinking about it, but I'm really, really grateful to God for, you know, how far we've come in this production, and hoping that we're able to do this again over and over, many more years to come. Yeah, so what I did on set, my own primary role, aside just being co-producer because we co-own the production company, I was in charge of finance for the production. I was the production finance manager. I was also the BTS director, so we had a BTS camera, someone taking BTS shots and everything. I was director for that, all of the BTS and, you know, teaser videos, everything. So I directed all of that. I even produced and edited them. So I'm just going to use this opportunity to say that if you haven't seen the judge is different. Okay, it's not what you're used to. It is fantasy and supernatural. Trust me, you're not holier than me. Nigerians can be very somehow and hypocritical. You watch Spider-Man where a man is behaving like an animal and he's flying up and that. You watch Harry Potter, you watch Alice in Wonderland and all of this other crazy stuff. In fact, all of the Marvel productions, and you don't have anything to say about it, you enjoy it. But when it comes to a Nigerian doing something, you want to start feeling like, what is this you're doing? Want it. Anyway, the judge is fantasy. Okay, so it is. You just have to pay attention to it, but I bet you the story is interesting and is captivating. So if you're watching this video, I beg you, I'm going to put the links. Make sure that you check it out. I've put my sweat and blood, tears into this production. See, we've literally cried, you know, suffered. I've told you somebody lost his laptop. See, we've gone through a lot physically, mentally, emotionally to make sure that, you know, we're able to pull this off, and we did. I'm grateful to God. So yeah. Do well to watch my film. I'm really tired. I just want to end this video. Do well to watch my film and drop nice comments and recommend to other people to watch. Okay, and at least I know that we did really good because for first timers we've been getting really good feedbacks, and I'm grateful to God for that. Okay, so I'm going to end this video here. The next video you see will be concerning the premiere and how everything went down. Thank you for coming. Bye. See ya next time on my YouTube channel.